If you're new here to our channel, consider subscribing and turn on the bell notification to get the latest KMP tutorials. We're gonna have a look at different ways on how you can set up a KMP project. Without further ado, we're gonna open our Chrome browser. Then on to the next, we're gonna open this hyperlink. I'll share it in the description, you can check. Then as you can see here, there are two ways on how you can be able to set up your KMP project. The first you can do is to use a plugin, and you can do that by going into Marketplace on your Android Studio. Settings. On settings here, you can see you'll go ahead and open. Then here, search Kotlin Multiplatform. And you can see here, you can install it from here. Then once you install it, you can be able to set up new KMP projects right away from the Android Studio itself, instead of using this second method over here. Now the second method is it's a web template. Basically it creates a web template for you, but what you'll have to do is that you'll have to give the package name and the application ID. Then you download the zip into your machine. Then from there you open it from the Android Studio side. So you can see here is that we have a Kotlin Multiplatform wizard. If you open this, it will take you to the next web page. Then from here, as you can see, you'll set up your first KMP application here. This is our project name. You can rename this to name of your choice. Then on the project ID, as you can see here, is that you can set it to your preference. Again, you can actually change all these things to your preference in that case, I mean. Then on the next, you have the platforms. You can choose on which platforms your app is going to run on. So as you can see here, we have Android desktop top here, we have iOS here, we have web here, and we have server. So this takes us to the next question: which platform should you use? Where should you start? Now, if your application in this case is targeting a particular use case, in that case you are targeting only, let's say, Android iOS users, in that case, then these first two options, the default options, are good for you. But if you want your application to now run on desktop, in this case, let's put it desktop or in a computer environment, then the desktop option will be okay for you. Now this one, you'll now go ahead and utilize this Compose Multiplatform UI framework here. In the case whereby you also run your application on WebAssembly, I mean, in this case on website, then you'll come ahead and check on this. Now something to note is that WebAssembly, the WASM, you need to realize that this is currently in alpha as annotated here. Not all features currently, maybe they could be applicable with your application as you're working with them right now, but be rest assured, with the time, check for updates, check for new content uploaded across platforms, either Twitter, YouTube, to be on the lookout. But once everything is stable, you'll be able now to integrate everything seamlessly without any issues. Now we go to the next step. Now in the case whereby now you have your endpoints, this now applications, you have applications which they have to communicate with the server somewhere. Then what you gonna do is that you'll go ahead and check server. In this case, you're gonna use Kata framework. Here, mostly, you'll now be making requests, HTTP clients requests using a Kata framework, whereby now our apps, they will be able to communicate, be either desktop, web, iOS, or Android to our server. Then the server also will communicate back. So this now comes again to the next question that I would like to highlight. The choice which you make on what to choose here will be based on your application use case, what your application does, what do you want to achieve, and on which platforms do you wish your application to run on. If you are implementing an end-to-end solution, then obvious in this case, you'll have to check server, iOS, Android, and also desktop and web if you wish in that case. But if you don't, well, you wouldn't like to implement for web, then we advise that you remove this for now, then you go with web. Then maybe in the future you'll come ahead and implement for web. So after you're done with that, go ahead and you download your zip. You will see it appear on the download icon over there. Then get your zip file, extract it, then go ahead and open it on Android Studio. Now once you have it in your Android Studio, you'll go ahead and open right from here. Then you'll open it as a new project from your file storage, File Explorer in that case. Then once you have it in Android Studio, let it sync for the changes, download all the necessary libraries. And if you wish to implement new libraries, then you'll go ahead and implement them here for the common libraries. But if you have specific platform libraries, then you'll go ahead and implement on these separate blocks over here. Otherwise, if you implement library which cuts across, in that case, like we come to implement a library which is not supported on the OSM JVM, in that case, then we will actually happen to get errors. So that's it for today's video. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, or we'll be posting new content each and every week.